Hey, it's a trigger, Rich Bond Trigger here on Tuesday. Gotta check the dates. Always gotta check the dates, everybody. How are you doing today? Great to be back with you. Another day of helping you shine on camera and shine on stage. And it's all about you and your brand because you are your brand. And I know you're working hard trying to grow that brand. You are trying to get leads, connections. And today we're going to talk about doing some of that. How to comment like a pro to grow your brand. Maybe you're on LinkedIn, maybe you're on Facebook, maybe you're on TikTok, whatever it is, you're wanting to comment, give those little emojis, give some people some love, and better help them see how cool you are with what you're doing. But you first got to connect with them. How are you doing with that? How are you doing with this idea of creating excitement around your comments, your posts on other people's activity? It's an easy way to grow your brand, but it also does have some finesse to it. There's some things to do to get more likes, more fans and followers, to open up the client funnel wider. There are some things that you really need to keep track of and not just heart, like, thumbs up, everybody. Those days are gone, long gone. There's ways now to actually increase your funnel, grow your brand identity by connecting and communicating with other leaders. The very first tip I want to give you here today is start making a list of higher level influencers that you want to connect with. Open up a spreadsheet, a docs, whatever you got, and start going through your LinkedIn, your Facebook, your Twitters, whatever platform is your primary one or two platforms, and go look for those people that most identify with you and your brand, not just the rock stars out there, because they could be speaking on something that you're not focused on. It could be something that doesn't match your brand. But go find people that are in your relative same space. So there is a identity that they can relate to, an understanding of who you are and why you comment. But make this list, first of all. Go do research before you implement some of the other things that I'm telling you to do here today. When you do this now, I would recommend on that spreadsheet, give their name, grab their link of whatever social media platform you're on. I use LinkedIn a lot, so I've got a lot of LinkedIn links in this spreadsheet database that I'm creating of top influencers. And then I would make a column on how many fans, followers, whatever number metric you're using on whatever platform you're on. Go grab that number that they have and put it right by that link of where you find them. I'm going to come back to that in a minute because it's going to help you. And then put down what their target market is. Look at their profile and say, okay, here's who they're targeting. Here's what their expertise is, just so you have some idea of who they are. And then I would go follow or like whatever that platform has for their main connecting point and do that. Go through a bunch of those. Just go through a bunch of those, identify those, create your spreadsheet first. Don't go comment on anything yet because you just want to make the first step. See, what happens sometimes is we want to connect, communicate, like, share right away. And it's like going on the first date with somebody. And instead of having a casual first date, walking them to the front of the house or the apartment and, being a gentleman and saying goodnight, it's like all of a sudden you're hugging them and there's very inappropriate to hug in that very first date, maybe. Or you give them the ring on the very first date. We're not wired for that. Okay. So you need to do the same thing with social media. You need to be able to communicate and connect first and do it very, very intentionally, but not overbearing. So make that first step. Just go connect with them, find them, build this database. The reason you want to track how many fans, followers, whatever that connection number is, on my list, I have my current list of connections that I'm comparing it to and that I want to grow. I can see where these others are at. I can see where I am at. And it helps motivate me to keep growing and reaching because you do want the numbers to go up. We know the analytics grow that and help you expand and become more of an influencer. Some platforms give you badges and they highlight you because you've got the numbers. Do not go buy numbers, okay? Do not go buy fake numbers. Do this and grow it properly so you don't get blocked or banned or whatever it is. So have the extra number where you're at, where they're at. Now you want to go out and find a current posting that they had. If it just went up on that day, great. Go type in a little comment. And here's what I would recommend when you do it. Acknowledge them as being a genius, give them some love, give them some encouragement, how it went and what they posted and what you liked on. Point out something you liked. If you want to take it to a really cool level, and when you like something, quote something from their post. Literally cut and paste, grab and say, I really love when you said blank, blank, blank. It's going to get an extra attaboy because they're going to know you really read the article, you paid attention, and something they wanted to communicate got through to you. Reflect on it. Give them a little feedback on what you thought about that comment, why it impacted you. You can disagree with them. You don't have to be a big fansy here. You can disagree, but do it in a way that's going to get a response back. Don't just tick them off for the sake of ticking them off. Okay, that's not going to get you the response you want, but you can disagree or agree with them, and then pose a question in there and wrap it around what you're writing about, because you want them to respond back to you. You want them to start engaging with you. You want them to get curious about why you have the knowledge you had and what you're doing. So that's part of what you post when you do your comments. Now, here's another thing about posting. At the beginning, I said, do not just use the attaboys, the emojis, and things like that. If you want your message to stick out, write at least 5 to 7 words in your comment to grab the attention. I recommend more than that, but don't give a novel, okay? They're not going to read the novel. Short, impactful. For example, LinkedIn, their algorithm now has a way of 5 words or more, bumps you up a little bit. And that's where you go to the top of people's feeds. You see the feeds, why some people hang on top of the feeds. You're using the algorithm to your advantage. And if they like it, if they comment back, it hangs on top of the feed longer as well. So on LinkedIn specifically and on other platforms, they're doing the same thing now. Write several words right away. But again, remember, I said acknowledge them, give them some praise, compliment them, quote something from their main article, and provide a question back. Now, when you reach out, remember, you just did that first fan, follower, connect type thing, but you didn't do anything yet. Many platforms have the ability then to write a personal comment back. I would do that after you've done some posting, you've done some connecting, you've gotten on the radar a little bit. Then go back and send them a personal comment. Hey, I really love what you're doing. I've been following you for a while. It's impacted my career. I'd like to know when, here's the important part, I'd like to know when you regularly post your material. Is it Tuesdays, Fridays? Ask for a specific time, what day of the week. Show that you're really interested in not missing anything from that content provider. What you're doing is, again, you're giving a good attaboy. You're making them feel good that, wow, you really like their stuff. But you're also grabbing information so you can now put a timer, put a earmark on that spreadsheet you made of what days to go back and revisit new content, because you want to be in the front of the funnel. You don't want to be one of the late people coming in and giving that comment and popping up on the feed. You want to be one of the early ones to recognize new content and keep that connection going forward. Also, when you do this, do not overly pump in your own content. Do not start dropping in your YouTube links like my Instagram and become a fansy where you want them to immediately jump to you. Let them come find you. If you've connected with them first, they will come connect with you. By the way, when it comes to this comment area, I'd recommend picking out maybe 2 or 3 platforms to go find that person and then connect with them on those 3 primary platforms. Rinse and repeat the comment process we've shared here today so you can do the same thing on their other platforms. Do not cut and paste the same thing over and over again. They'll know you're either a robot or you're just playing games. Make it authentic when you reach and you connect with them. I've been connected with people on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. Those are the 3 main areas that I've been connecting with people to build my numbers, to build my credibility, and add to a greater reach. Eventually, some of these people will reach out to you. Eventually, you might get a one-on-one with them. Start with good comments, giving good feedback, and do it in a way that you naturally stand out from the crowd. Grow your brand, communicate with other people, and be intentional about going to higher level people. It makes a world of difference. By the way, if you have any questions on this, I would love to hear your comments and questions. Or you can always drop them in. Email me, rich@richbontrager.net. That's rich@richbontrager.net. or just go directly to rockstagemedia.com. Learn about what we're doing. Connect with me on social media. I'd love to connect with you, learn more about what you're doing. Practice your tips on me. There you go, right there. That's an easy one. By the way, coming up, we're going to have a very special thing coming up. National Stutter Awareness Week is coming up in the month of May. I have lived with a lifelong stutter. I know the pain, the angst of the ridicule, the uncomfortableness, the nerves that come with it. I will be doing I Stutter. It's going to be a week-long focus on stuttering. If you stutter, if you know of someone that stutters, I would love to have you featured on one of these 2 p.m. lives during that week. That whole week is going to be committed to stuttering, to helping educate, help people understand and grow in knowledge. Stuttering is not about people being slow or dumb or anything that you may have heard or thought. It's something far different, and many amazing, great people that you know on TV, radio, sports have a stutter and have succeeded greatly in life. That's what we're going to highlight. We're going to have a great week doing it. If you know somebody, again, that does stutter, contact me, Rich at richbontrager.net. I'd love to talk to you and get you featured right here live on a 2 p.m. with the Trigger. Hey, until tomorrow, it's Rich Bontrager. We'll see you around at 2 p.m. tomorrow.